The holographic display flickered to life in the xenobiology lab aboard the research vessel Kepler's Dream, revealing the orange and black striped form of what humans called a tiger. Professor Vextai adjusted his crystalline viewing apparatus with one of his 4 arms while his Zephyrian students clustered around the projection, their bioluminescent patches pulsing with curiosity. Today we examine Panthera tigris, a terrestrial apex predator from the 3rd planet, Vextai announced, his translator converting his harmonic whistles into standard galactic. Note the primitive yet effective hunting adaptations. Krinda, a promising student from the Andorian colonies, raised her elongated hand. Professor, the musculature seems inadequate for a true apex predator. Our homeworlds Veldar possess triple the muscle density. An astute observation, Vextai replied, manipulating the hologram to show the tiger's internal structure. However, Earth's gravity is significantly lower than Andoria Prime. These creatures evolved for efficiency rather than brute force. The lesson continued routinely until Zephron, a young researcher from the Outer Rim, accidentally triggered the combat simulation protocols. The holographic tiger suddenly materialized in full 3-dimensional detail, its programmed hunting behaviors activated. Fascinating, whispered New York Era, her photosynthetic skin shifting to a pale green. Observe its movement patterns. The simulated tiger moved with fluid grace, demonstrating stalking techniques that seemed almost supernatural to the alien observers. Its ability to remain motionless for extended periods, then explode into motion, defied their understanding of energy conservation in biological systems. Professor, Krinda's voice carried a note of concern. This creature's hunting methodology, it resembles something familiar. Vextai's chromatic displays flickered, the equivalent of a frown. Elaborate. The patience, the silent approach, the calculated strike at vulnerable points. Krinda paused, her bioluminescent patches dimming to near black. These are identical to the hunting patterns of the Sharketh. A collective intake of breath echoed through the lab. The Sharketh, nightmarish creatures from the dark side of Zephyria, were responsible for wiping out 3 colonial settlements before the Galactic Council implemented quarantine protocols around their homeworld. Impossible, Zephron interjected, his tentacles writhing nervously. The Sharketh are products of convergent evolution in high-radiation environments. They're 15 feet tall with molecular acid claws. This Earth creature is comparatively small. Professor Vextai manipulated the controls, overlaying the tiger's hunting sequence with archived footage of Sharketh attacks. The parallels were undeniable. The same patient stalking, the explosive burst of speed, the precise targeting of arterial weak points. By the 7 suns, New York Era whispered, they hunt exactly the same way. More than that, Vextai's voice carried a tremor of scientific excitement mixed with horror. The neural pathway analysis suggests identical cognitive hunting processes. This Earth predator has somehow evolved the same tactical intelligence that makes the Sharketh nearly unstoppable. Krinda activated her personal scanner, running detailed comparisons. Professor, if I may, the bite force calculations show that while smaller, this tiger compensates with precision. It instinctively knows exactly where to strike for maximum damage, just like the Sharketh. The implications settled over the lab like a heavy blanket. The Sharketh had terrorized the galaxy for decades, their perfect hunting instincts making them nearly impossible to counter. Yet here was a creature from a seemingly primitive world that had independently evolved identical predatory behaviors. There's more, Zephron announced, his voice barely above a whisper. I've been analyzing the territorial patterns. Tigers are solitary hunters, unlike the pack-hunting Sharketh, but their individual kill efficiency rates are actually higher. Professor Vextai stood motionless for several moments, processing the information. Finally, he spoke. Class dismissed. I must contact the Galactic Research Council immediately. As the students filed out, their excited chatter filled the corridors. They had come to study a simple Earth predator and instead discovered that one of their galaxy's most feared creatures had a nearly identical counterpart on a small blue planet in an unremarkable solar system. The tiger hologram continued its silent hunt, unaware that it had just redefined galactic understanding of evolutionary convergence, and perhaps revealed that the universe's most perfect predator design was more common than anyone had dared imagine.